Alright, hey guys, hopefully you're following along with my other videos. The reason I say that is this stuff isn't modular. You really need to make sure you're getting your warm-ups in, your stretches, things like that before we move on to these exercises. If you don't want to watch my other videos, that's cool. Just make sure you're doing some kind of warm-up, some kind of stretch to get everything nice and relaxed, and make sure we've got great posture before we get started. Now, we've talked about getting that good posture. We're going to stack the blocks. We're going to raise our chest just a little bit and let our shoulders kind of relax. Now, this exercise is really focused on, as I mentioned, as we sing, everything's going to want to cave in. This exercise, excuse me while I adjust this just a little bit, this exercise is focused on keeping all that stuff up, keeping that nice relaxed posture. And the way this exercise works is you're going to have your arms at your side, nice and relaxed on your barrel, like I mentioned. Now, you're going to start to sing your phrase. Pick a piece, pick a song in your repertoire, in the list of songs you want to sing, an open mic, whatever. And without your guitar on the side, we're going to actually sing these songs, and we're going to pick it apart phrase by phrase. And when you start off, just to get a feel for this exercise, just pick one phrase, and as you sing the phrase, I want you to move your arms up, eventually up over your head. Now, the way this works is you need to time it so that when your phrase is over, your arms are at your head. None of this. No, I'm singing my phrase, oh, it's almost done. We don't want to do that. We want to time it just right so when our phrase is done, we're at the top. Then when we take our breath, put your arms back down. And as you're singing, everything's going to cave in, but what this does is my chest can't really fall while my arms are up at the top here. So this will kind of teach you, as you go through your songs, it'll kind of develop muscle memory and it'll keep it in there. I'm going to take a breath, and then I'm going to start singing my phrase again. I'm going to come to the top, and when I end, I'm going to stop. And then go back down. Now, without a voice teacher, you need to be really critical of yourself. So the things you really need to watch for in this exercise are starting really quick and then slowing down, or starting too slow and then speeding up. And what this does is your brain makes a connection with this idea of breathing. And what this does, this controls your breath in that if you keep this in a steady pace as you're singing, your breath is going to come out in a steady pace. So the idea is we're using as much of our breath as we need to for that phrase. So if we've got a quick phrase, or we've got a really slow phrase where we really need to control our breath and make sure we're putting out just the right amount throughout the whole thing, we're, being mindful of that. So again, do this in front of a mirror, turn your webcam on and have it facing you, and just kind of watch yourself as you sing. Every breath that you're going to take, arms come back down. If you mess up on a phrase, start that phrase over. Do it until you've got it. When I first started, I had to do the first phrase of my song over and over and over again. And then I moved to the second phrase, and I had to do that over and over again. And then the next phrase came a little easier, and I started to get the idea of it. So be really critical of yourself. Watch your posture, because if you go too fast and then start, odds are you're letting out too much breath when you first start your phrase. So if you start some of those longer phrases, too much breath is coming out at the beginning, and you're going to run out, and you're going to do this, and you're not going to have any voice left. So we really want to make sure we're starting off in a nice, slow motion. Now, the point of this exercise is that we're focusing on something else. We're not focusing on, I'm letting out exactly this much breath right now. We're focusing on the speed of our arms, and our mind and our lungs and our diaphragm and everything just kind of does the rest. Do this with every song you're going to sing. I'll talk a little bit more about the mix of how much time you want to spend warming up, how much time you want to spend on exercises, practicing your songs, and then just performing, essentially. So I'll talk a little bit about that more in the next video. If you have any questions on this exercise, please let me know. I'd be happy to clarify. If you want to upload a video of you doing it, I'd love to have a look and see how you're doing. Yeah, this is something that you're going to practice for every time you get a new song. It's just that good. It's a great exercise. It was really, really the key in helping my breath control. and it's still something I have to keep an eye on, so it's just a good reminder for me to make sure that I'm still focusing on my breath and phrase by phrase.